In this video, Shelley and I explore the Addo Elephant National Park, and we were pleasantly surprised by just how much we got to see in such a short time. The park has so much variety and we had a great time exploring it. The park was originally established in 1931 to protect the last remaining 11 elephants in the region, and has since grown into one of South Africa's greatest conservation success stories. During our visit, we stayed at the park's main camp, situated in the northern section of the park.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Shelley and I are camping in Addo Elephant National Park, and it's the first time we've been camping since April, so it's been quite a while. Today is the 2nd of January 2026, and we're here in the Eastern Cape hoping to see some good wildlife over the next few days. We just finished putting up the tent now, and the campsites here are quite small, but everything did manage to fit. And Addo is the third largest national park in South Africa, and from what I understand it has got the big five, so we'll see what we can find over the next few days. But right now it's just gone 1 o'clock and the temperatures are really high, so we'll go for a drive a little bit later when things cool down.
It didn't take long before we headed out on our first game drive, excited to discover what the national park had to offer, and not long into the drive we encountered a very relaxed elephant that glided silently past our vehicle. A reminder of just how quietly these enormous animals can move. There was plenty of general game and bird life to be seen. We also spotted a few different species that we are not accustomed to seeing in the other areas of South Africa that we visit more regularly. Addo is dominated by dense Albany thicket vegetation with thick bush and speckboom stretching across much of the landscape. Thanks to summer rainfall, the park was lush and vibrant, and during the heat of the day, many of the larger mammals found relief in the cool mud wallows, just like this.
It's just gone 4 o'clock now, so we've got 2.5 hours left until we need to be back at the campsite, and we're on the Gora loop. Plenty zebra out on these open plains, and at the moment we've just stopped at our first impala that we've seen, and it's a female impala all alone. It's not often that you see one on its own like this, and we're probably going to make our way back to the Zuurkop loop before heading back to the camp, but we'll just cruise around and see what else we can find on this drive.
After watching that black-backed jackal slink off into the dense vegetation, we got to see probably the strangest looking animal of all, the common ostrich. It is the largest and the heaviest bird in the world, and despite its enormous size, it's completely flightless. We also managed to get distant views of a group of meerkats. These groups are referred to as mobs, clans, or gangs of meerkats, and they can have up to 50 members. As we made our way back to the main camp at the end of the drive, we came across this enormous breeding herd of elephants, no doubt led by the matriarch. It always amazes me how animals as massive as elephants can remain so well hidden throughout the day. Then as soon as the temperatures begin to drop, they seem to appear out of nowhere, emerging to feed and gather around bodies of water. Conditions were perfect that evening. There wasn't a breath of wind, and as the sun went down, the sky turned pink. We had a look at the camp hide, which is a short walk from the campsite, but there wasn't anything to see, so we decided to call it a night before the early wake up the next morning.
It's just gone 7 o'clock now, and we've been on the game drive for about an hour and a half, and it's been a quiet one compared to yesterday afternoon. We've done a similar route. We went past the Harpur Dam where we saw that massive herd of elephants yesterday, and the birds have been really good this morning. Nice to catch that bokmakiri out in the open. Really a beautiful bird, part of the shrike family. And the reason we've been doing that Zuurkoop drive so many times is because we saw on the sightings board that lions had been seen there over the last few days, but zero luck, and we've driven it about 5 or 6 times since we got here yesterday. But we'll definitely keep our heads down and carry on trying.
The hyena was lying just beside the road, our first sighting of this animal during our trip, and the last animal we expected to encounter. It showed no concern about the vehicle and remained completely at ease. We watched it quietly for a few minutes before it stood up and wandered off. And now the sightings were really starting to pick up. We got to see this lioness resting on a ridge overlooking an open clearing. Our very first lion sighting in Addo. It wasn't long before she stood up and began moving, and at first we thought she might be heading down to the nearby waterhole for a mid-morning drink. But then we noticed there were actually 2 lionesses, with the second female hidden just behind a small scrub and out of sight. Both of them began walking with real determination. They didn't seem interested in the water at all, passing straight by the waterholes as they continued on their way.
We were heading back towards the main rest camp here at Addo, and these two female lions were making their way past the waterhole. It's unnamed on the map, and they ran off and chased a herd of male kudus. We still parked here next to them. They're about 100 meters off the road. They've settled down under some bushes. I think they might be there for the rest of the day. They look like they're pretty relaxed, got some good shade. We came back to the campsite to have some coffee and rusks that we didn't get to have this morning. We were a bit late, so we got in the car at 5:30 straight from the tent and went for a drive. No coffee. And yeah, what an amazing morning drive. Those two lions hunting the kudu, spotted hyena and all that bird life. Really impressed with that drive.
As we left the camp to see if the lions were still in the area, we were lucky enough to spot them again, leaving their shady resting spot and heading back in the direction which they had originally come from.
We got a good view of those two female lions. After our coffee break at the campsite, we got to see them nicely again, making their way back past the watering hole. And now we've just turned onto the dirt road past the Roy Dam, and we're heading towards Harpur, where we got to see all those elephants yesterday afternoon. And it really has been a good start to the morning.
And just when we thought the lion action was over, we saw the same lionesses making their way back down with their small cubs to where they had caught a female kudu. We got to see plenty of terrestrial bird life during the rest of our morning drive, but one of the highlights was getting our best ever view of these blue cranes, South Africa's national bird. We were surprised at how plentiful they were throughout the Addo Elephant National Park. After an exciting morning spent with the lions and the incredible variety of wildlife that Addo has to offer, we headed back to the camp to refuel the car and cool off in the swimming pool before setting out on another game drive. During the afternoon, we were treated to a beautiful sighting of the Denham's bustard. Their striking plumage and subtle colors make them a beautiful bird species. We also had a very interesting encounter with the Karoo bush rat that was busy feeding alongside the road. When we returned to the camp that evening, we were welcomed by some truly incredible colors again. The sunset was absolutely striking. Just look at the pink sky, and we got the fire going for another braai. If you're enjoying the video, check out my website richardvanhuck.com, where I offer products like car door mounts and wildlife videography courses. You can also support the channel on Patreon, and a huge thank you to everyone who already supports the channel. It's your support that makes videos like this possible. On our last morning in Addo, it was another early start, and we headed out hoping to get another view of those lions. We got to the Gwari Dam, where there were some water birds. These African shell ducks were nice to see close up, and we also got the distant views of a red-knobbed coot. Shelley then saw a spotted hyena on the bank across from the dam, and initially we thought it was the same hyena we had seen the previous day, but we eventually noticed there were actually a few of them. One of them began to make a loud contact call, which almost sounded like a duet with the hoot of the shell duck. It was quite funny to see and hear the two species calling at the same time. Hyenas make contact calls for a number of reasons, and in this instance it could have been to indicate to the clan that it was time to move on. They all headed in the direction of a body of water where we got great views of them on the move. It was very interesting to watch them drink together and even get into the water to drink and bathe at the same time.
We are on our last morning drive here at Addo, and we got lucky this morning with those hyenas on the other side of the Gwari Dam. They were just lying down quite a distance away, and we think they had the remains of the lion kill from yesterday with them. And they moved off and had a drink from a body of water and a bit of a swim. Now we've carried on to the next dam along the tarred road called Roy Dam, and there are a few blacksmith lapwings here, a few starlings, but no mammals at the moment. We're thinking now we'll go and do the Gora loop, which we did yesterday afternoon, where we saw the denims busted. And then after that, we'll go back to the camp and pack up, because next we're going to Mountain Zebra National Park, so that'll be the next video.
During our time at Addo, we saw plenty of these strange looking plants called tall white squills. They thrive in the environment which the national park offers. The whole plant is actually really toxic. Even the bulb can make your skin itch. Later that morning we were able to get even closer to a pair of blue cranes, much closer than we had been the previous day. They are such interesting looking birds. This was without a doubt our favorite bird sighting of the trip. These birds don't usually perch out in the open, so having one this close to the vehicle and calling was really special. Within the national park there are a few designated areas where visitors may leave their vehicles at their own risk. This provided us a great opportunity to get a better view of these zebras drinking. One thing that was a clear common trend was larger mammals chasing warthogs away from the waterholes. When we arrived back at the camp after our morning drive, we stopped at the Red Bishop Hide. We were pleasantly surprised to find a bird book in the hide to help visitors identify the different species. We were also lucky enough to spot a red bishop. During the summer, these birds gather around the reeds because they provide the perfect nesting habitat. While we were in the hide, we were also visited by a red-winged starling. And we got to see a village weaver at its nest.
So we just got back to the campsite now. We were only out for 2 hours, not a long drive, but we got to see so much. The highlights definitely being those hyenas. Awesome time here at Addo, and thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment, let me know what you thought about the video if you enjoyed it, and see you guys in the next one.